Hey, it's your girl Paula Marie with Kimberly C. Listen, authors, we need you to come up to the front of the room, come up to the front of the room because we are going live just to talk about some things that you may be struggling with in terms of getting your book out there and really leveraging your book. And for those of you, child, look at this hair. This hair is big today. It's big today. And are you just leveraging? It's real big. I got to get used to it. And then are you leveraging book? Is your book just sitting in a box in the corner? Is it in the garage? Do you even have copies, right? How were you leveraging that book in the way that you envisioned when you wrote it? So we're going to talk about those things and a little bit more. Kim, tell the people who you are, girl. Tell the people who you are.
I am Kimberly C., your official ghostwriter and editor at your service. So I own Right Touch Publications. I've been editing and ghostwriting mostly for a little over 20 plus years. So that's basically what I do.
You just kind of stumbled right on over that, right? 20 plus. So what? That's what we're doing. Okay. She's a big, big, big deal. Okay. She's a big
Yeah.
deal. I'm trying to share this out to a couple of people. So Kim, can you just talk about what was on your heart today? Like what is it that you really want people to understand about how to leverage their book and why writing a book is so important?
Well, it's important because it sets you apart as the premier professional in your area of expertise. So, whatever it is that you're selling or whatever it is that you're teaching to your audience, and only you know what your target audience is, having a book to accompany that kind of gives them something to take away from the teaching or from whatever you're selling, or gives them something to look back on, and it kind of sets you apart from others who might be, let's say, maybe your competitors or what have you. It just kind of sets you at the premier spot as being the go-to person for that area of expertise. And the screen seems to be freezing up. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it's frozen on your end, Paula. I don't know if you can hear me.
Quick and in a hurry. Black Friday is here, baby. If you have not thought about Black Friday because you're still in the throes of summer, which I understand you might still be in the throes of summer, but please understand that in order for you to have, oh wait a minute, we got a notice. Let's see, we're having some connection trouble. Alrighty. Thank you, StreamYard, for letting us know. If you're interested in using StreamYard, I definitely support it. The link is at the bottom in the description. Definitely click on that link, baby, because they will get you together even when there's a storm outside and the connection is a little choppy, right? So let's get back to Black Friday. Black Friday is one of the largest selling seasons. It is the largest selling season, period. If you haven't made a dime all year, you can definitely make your money during Black Friday. Number one, it's just the season where people are using um, everything that they have to purchase all the things that they want to give to themselves and to give to others. And people are actually purchasing for Black Friday right now. So it's never too early to get started. I always say you need to be thinking about Black Friday in July. And that's usually when people aren't. And if you've ever felt like you've been super stressed trying to get a product out in Black Friday, definitely don't feel that way. You're not alone. But I want you to write in the comments if you've ever felt like I don't have enough time to get my products out during Black Friday. Just type in Black Friday in the comments. Just type in Black Friday in the comments, whether you're live or you're hashtag replay, because you are not alone. Okay, you are not alone. Kim and I want you to leverage your book for Black Friday. We want you to have your book ready and in position so that you can really maximize the willingness of all of your clients who don't even know they need your book yet. We want you to leverage that excitement that happens on Black Friday so that you yourself can be able to maximize your book, leverage your expertise, sell more books, and maybe even turn those book sales and your expertise into other streams of revenue. And this is
Right.
something that we talk about inside of our Write, Publish, and Market program. So we start in September, but we wanted to just kind of talk about a couple of things. Just we've gotten some questions inside of the private community. If you want to join our private community, it's absolutely free. Click the link, it is below. I'm going to see if I can find it in a second and scroll it underneath. But I did want to add this question, Kim, that we got. And I think this is more of your question right now. So someone
Okay.
asked, do you need to get your book professionally formatted? And I know that there's some people out there they didn't even get that book formatted. They wrote that book, they threw it in Canva. You want to know how I know? Because I was one of them people. I
Um,
was people. Okay. People till Kim got me together. Ooh, she snatched my whole egg. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna let her answer this question.
so the answer is undeniably yes, absolutely. I think that you should. For a number of reasons, actually. I know earlier we talked about setting yourself apart as being the premier professional in your area of expertise. So that's what getting your book formatted does. When we say formatted, we're talking about the interior design of the book, what they call in publishing the typesetting. So you do need to hire, well, I suggest, I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, but I do highly suggest that you hire a typesetter to typeset your book. Now, you can teach yourself to do it, but it is, however, very time consuming. And there are things that you need to make sure that you know specifically to have in place when you're typesetting the book. It's not all about just numbering the page, 1 through 10, what have you. There are certain things that you need to know as it relates to having your book professionally typeset. And having the book typeset also creates better readability for your audience. So when they pick up the book, the first thing we do, we pick up a book, we open it up to look at the interior of it. And if it's an easy read, they're more likely to purchase the book. If it looks like it's too congested, I'm not saying they won't buy it, but if it's readability works in your favor, that's what I would say. So that's just a couple of reasons. There are others, but um, I'll leave it at that for now.
Somebody find
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
professionally formatted, where would they go? Where would they go to even get their book professionally formatted? And how would they find someone, a company or visual
Yeah, so you would
artist, and
yeah,
everything?
you can go online and um research professional book typesetters. That's what you want to research, and just find someone who's compatible for what your unique needs are. For instance, if someone is into mostly working with sci-fi, they may not know how to. I mean, they'll know how, but you may not want them to um, be the typesetter for your book if you have specific needs as it relates to formatting your particular book. That's what I will say. So just make sure, just like you would go online to research to find an editor or someone to create your cover, then you can go online as well and find a professional book typesetter to typeset your book. Um, Also, another reason why you want to typeset your book is for compatibility. So, for instance, if you're going to publish your book on Amazon Kindle or something like that, there's special, specific formatting guidelines that you have to follow and that you have to have in place if you're going to publish your book on those, within those spaces. And I will say another reason is for print quality. If you have your book formatted or typeset properly, it betters your chances of your book being printed with a better quality, because you don't have the ink bleeding all over the place, because you have things not laid out correctly within your book. So those are some of the reasons why I suggest that you get your book typeset. But like I said, you can go online and always find a typesetter that meets your specific needs for your brand or for your book. So I don't know if Paula had anything else that she wanted to add, but I'm trying to think of some other reasons that I may be forgetting. I do know that especially when it comes to digital formatting, like say if you do your book, but then you say, you know what, I want to create this in ebook format as well. You need a typesetter to typeset that book for you, because the book that you have in print may not be able to be used to upload your ebook version. So it's two different ways that your book might need to be typeset. So that's another reason to try to find you a professional typesetter, someone who's going to be compatible to meet your specific needs. Because if you want to have that book turn into an ebook, like I said, you can go online and probably train yourself, but it is so time consuming. I used to typeset for my authors, but it just got to be a bit much. So because of it being so time consuming, so that's why I no longer do it. I have different freelancers that I use for things that I don't want to do or just don't have time to do, and that's just one of the things that I don't have time to do is typesetting. And then of course I don't create the cover as well, because I'm not a graphic artist. That's not my area of expertise. I mean, I can do it. I'm sure, there's different places where you can do it yourself, using Canva and things like that. But as I stated, I don't have time for those things. So those are just some of the things that I freelance out. And I suggest that you just find someone who, whom you can work with, who understands your vision for your brand, and you go with that person. What else? So also, we'll talk about accessibility. Proper formatting helps to improve the accessibility for readers with disabilities, because it ensures that your book can be enjoyed, with a wider audience. And also readers have certain expectations about how a book should look. So when you meet those expectations, it helps to set you apart for your brand. Okay, so I think I covered a number of things, so I'll leave it at that.
Shoo! Thank you. Listen, I was completely down. This is a whole infomercial. This is a whole infomercial for StreamYard, because I was down. Like, look, I was down, computer was down, no internet down, and you was still live, like doing what you got to do. Like, if
I was trying to remember stuff.
If you don't click that link at the bottom and get you some StreamYard, because StreamYard don't be playing. Like, I was down. I said, well, shoot, I saw you talking in the group. I said, well, She's still up, but I'm down, and I'm the one that's running the show.
I
Good
figured I
old
didn't see you anymore,
StreamYard.
so I was trying to hold it together till you got back.
Listen, thank God. I had to reboot my computer and everything. I was like,
Well,
yeah,
you
let me
sound
reboot.
better. Yeah, you're not going in
Yeah.
and out anymore. Yeah. Okay.
So let's talk about the next question. Next question was how to promote your book. And so the thing that you need to think about is that your book should actually be part of what the core of who you are is, so that you're not selling your book. You're literally talking about who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, like your core. Those are the things that you really have to put into place, because if you're doing those things to sell your book, it's easy because the book aligns with who you are. And as long as the book aligns with who you are, then you're good. And a lot of times we write our books about the things we're passionate about, but we haven't told anyone that we're passionate about it. So no one
Mm.
even knows those pieces of who we are. And so if no one knows those pieces of who we are, how can we, in all honesty, get people to buy into our books? They need to buy into who you are. People buy into people that are moving in their cause, that are showing up authentically in who they are. People buy from people, right? So if people buy from people, then that means that you have to show up as the person that you are, and that book has to be an extension of what you are representing. And a lot of times we don't talk about those things. We don't want to
Yeah.
talk about what we do. We don't want to share like what we're interested in. We don't want to share like our jobs. A lot of times we're experts because we get paid to do something. And people think that how can I tell someone because I haven't done it at this huge level, right? But you have done it at a huge level because someone is actually paying you for your expertise, for your knowledge, for the things that you're creating and that you're building, for the systems that you are putting into place. And so, if you can do that well enough for someone to pay you, you can definitely do it again so that someone outside of your job, outside of your field, will pay you for that same amount of information, that same amount of education that you're able to deliver. So a lot of times we have to get through the imposter syndrome, and we really have to like figure out how do we show up in who we are. So our books literally, we need to assess what are we writing about, and how does this line up with my DNA as a person, and how does it line up with who is around me, right? My audience, my core, my tribe, right? And is this something that they're going to resonate with? Because the most challenging thing is to write about something that no one in the world knows that that's what you do. And then you got to go out and you got to find a whole new tribe of people. Now you got to build that thing from scratch. It's
Mhm.
easier if you just show up in who you are and your book is an extension of that, right? Than for you to have to go out and grow a whole new tribe. So I'll use an example because this is really a marketing question, right? And so once your tribe knows who you are, you can move however you want to move, right? And I'm about to step on some necks right now, and it's okay. I'm okay with it. So I'm tell the beehive right now, don't come for me because I'm strong and I'm mighty. Okay, I'm strong and I'm mighty. But let's talk about Rihanna, and we love Rihanna. We love Rihanna. We want more music from Rihanna. Rihanna said, "Forget that. I'm in family mode right now. That music game is too hard. You got to work too hard for it, and I just want my family." And she worked a long time as a young girl. So now she's living her life. So what did she do? She didn't go and create something. She partnered with someone. She partnered with someone and said, these are the things that I'm interested in, and I want to put my stamp on it. We already love Rihanna. Rihanna already has a tribe. So we're not buying into the thing so much, is that we're buying into the feel of what Rihanna represents. So whether it's her makeup, whether it's her clothing and her lingerie, right? it's her hair product, whatever it is, we're buying into the vibe of who Rihanna is. And there's a piece of Rihanna in every single one of us that rock with her. So whatever she gets, she's not going to do something that's so to the left outside of who she is. Everything that she's doing is based off of an extension of who she is. If you look at her lingerie, that's an extension of who she is because she exudes that sexiness, and she has lingerie from size 0 on up. So that means anyone can have a piece of Rihanna and really live out the Rihanna that they have inside of themselves, because you don't have to look exactly like her. You just have to have that vibe and that energy of her. And the lingerie represents it. Same thing with the makeup. The makeup is for all shades because her tribe ranges from all people. So that's another extension of who she is. And Rihanna's always beat. Face always beat. So as women, sometimes we want to be beat too. So we're gonna trust in Rihanna because Rihanna didn't say, I'm just gonna make certain shades and forget the rest of you. She said, yo, I'm making the shades for all the people because all the people represent my tribe. So she stayed true to who she is, and she's giving us things primarily female. That's who rocks with her. So she's working on brands that are going to speak to her female audience, that's going to help her female audience really move the way they want to move, to be more uninhibited, to be bigger than life, to really show up in the way that they want to show up. That's Rihanna. That's her brand. So even though she's music, that's where we found her out. She's always been about that fashion. Face has always been beat, and she's worked with a plethora of of artists. So she transcends racial barriers. So we're gonna rock with Rihanna because Rihanna is showing us, let me get some more things that my ladies need. Let me get some more things that are gonna help my ladies to really feel like their best, to feel their best. Now let's go on over to the other side. Okay, let's go on over to the Beyonce side. And I love me some Beyonce. Now, let me tell you, I love me some Beyonce. Now, I'm not a beehive, but I do love me some Beyonce. Okay. But I will tell you that we've seen Beyonce do product after product after product. And so, if we're talking about this from a business perspective, I think that, first of all, I think that the products are extensions of who she is in that season. Whereas Rihanna is a little bit more long term and more concise about what she's delivering, right? Beyonce is doing things on her own, and this is the season that she's in. So all the way from the beginning, when she was partnering with her mom and her clothing line, to her athletic line, to now she has hair care products. These are the extensions of where she's at right now, right? These are extensions of who she is, but I don't know if the products are representative of her audience. And I think that's where it falls flat for me as an entrepreneur. So if we look at Rihanna, who's creating products that are representative of her audience, so she's being true, we're going to purchase those products. And then someone who's just giving products that are representative of who they are, but not so much their audience, because there's some disconnect there, right? And that happens in business all the time. So until you find like the perfect thing that you do that lands on the perfect audience, there's always going to be some things. But you never have to reinvent the wheel if you're moving in your authentic self. So we're always going to visually show up in who we are. We're always going to feel and speak how we are. We're never going to be something different. So if you're writing your book on something different than what people see every day, you're going to have to reinvent the wheel. Remember that, because it means that if you don't, then it's going to be an issue and a problem where people are going to be like, oh, we didn't know that you were an expert on that. We didn't know that that was something that you shared. It's got to be an extension of who you are and how you're showing up. So even before you write the book, you should be building who you are. even before you write the book. You need to be in spaces that represent who you are. That's why with celebrities, when they're young and coming out, their publicists make sure that they're at the event they need to be at, that they are in within proximity of certain other celebrities, because they need to be in position, because those celebrities are this, they have the same vibe, they have the same energy, right? They have to share the same audience. So if I can connect with them, then that means that I can grow and expand my audience. You have to be in position. That doesn't mean you have to be on social media every day, but it does mean that when you show up, you have to be in position. You have to be in position in a way that people will say, right? Because you always want someone to lean in a little bit more. You want someone to lean in a little bit more. So I hope I didn't step on anyone's necks. Like I said, I love Beyonce. I don't have any problems with it. But just from a business perspective, when you look at how Rihanna runs her business and how Beyonce runs her business, they run them in two totally different ways. And you can see from the longevity and the success of one particular artists and their products versus the other, there are some differences, right? And it really depends on what it is that you want from your business. It really depends on that, right? So you are promoting your business right now. I mean, your book right now, and your book is your business. How you show up right now is your business. The people that are gonna watch you, stay connected with you, is because they're connected to that thing. Now that you have this book that you can present to them, it just makes them more connected. It gives them another way to connect with you. You definitely want to make sure that you're doing that. So hopefully that helps someone, because I know that social media showing up is oftentimes a little challenging. Some artists are introverts, so super shy, not wanting to be in the public as much. And so you can still show up and not have to be in the public, right? So these are a couple of things that we talk about more in detail. When you're ready to actually get that book looked at, and getting some ideas on whether that book is going in the right direction. Is it a strong enough book? How can it be stronger, right? Because before we get it formatted, we definitely need to make sure that we're revising and revising and revising. And if you're not an author, because I'm not an author, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've written some books, but I'm not an author. That's the piece that doesn't work for me. So that's Kimberly's department. Like, that's her thing. Like, she can edit the hell out some pages, baby. She can edit the hell out some pages. Yeah. And then building your tribe, building your authority, showing up in a way that makes people lean in. That's my expertise as well. And the thing that I want you all to understand is, if you don't know what your expertise is and you can't share that piece, that's the first thing that we have to tackle. How do you transform lives? That's the first thing. And how is your book an extension or a vessel or a tool that you use to transform lives? We got to tackle that first. What's your why? What's your why? And what's your how? That's your superpower. All right. All right, Kimberly, you got anything else you want to add?
That's it. I will say, in conjunction to what you said about an extension of your business, once you have your book, don't be afraid to join some writers groups, because even though you may not be an author, joining those networking communities is going to give you exposure for your book. So think outside of the box a little bit as it pertains to your networking capabilities. That's all.
And
now.
speaking of communities, you can join our community on Write, Publish, Market That Book. The website, the link is scrolling underneath. It's just www.writepublishmarket.com. That's going to take you directly to our free community. And you definitely want to um, rub elbows and share ideas with people that are also in alignment with your goals of being an
Right.
author. So I'll say this, and this is what I'll leave you with. If your book is written, but you have not learned how to leverage it, join the community, Write, Publish, Market. Okay, the link is scrolling underneath. If you haven't written your book, you still have time. Join the community, writepublishmarket.com. And if you've written the book, it's not published, you don't know if it's right, you want to put it in stores before you do anything on Amazon, I'm going to need you to join writepublishmarket.com. Because if you publish that book wrong, baby, you're not going to be able to get it in them stores. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave that right there. Okay. So I want you to be successful. And if you have any more questions and you're watching this at hashtag replay, definitely share those questions in the comments underneath this video, and we'll make sure to answer your question next week when we come back. All righty. Have an amazing day. And listen, don't stop writing. Just put some action behind the pen. Let's get that book written and then let's get you out there for Black Friday. The time is now. All righty.
All
Peace.
right.
Peace.